You could feel the anger tonight at a Board of Trustees meeting in Thornton Township. The board and citizens looking for accountability to their finances while the township supervisor
Henyard making a late appearance at the Dalton Village Board meeting this evening. That meeting was being held at the Park District building since Village Hall cannot legally.
Tiffany Henyard, the self-proclaimed super mayor of Dalton, Illinois, is gearing up for a second term. But her campaign is anything but ordinary. Surrounded by a whirlwind of accusations, investigations, and fierce criticism, Henyard finds herself at the epicenter of a political firestorm. The escalating tensions and turmoil in Dalton's political scene have turned her re-election bid into a real-life soap opera, with new drama unfolding at every twist and turn.
New developments in South Suburban Dalton today. First, the state comptroller has suspended some payments to the village because it has failed to follow the law by providing.
With a federal inquiry looming over her, Mayor Tiffany Henyard seems to be doubling down on her efforts to defend her position. Unapologetically, she has taken to social media with bold proclamations, loudly declaring, "Attention! Attention! Attention!" in an attempt to rally support and deflect criticism. Henyard dismisses the backlash surrounding her re-election bid as part of a larger conspiracy, brushing aside the numerous scandals that have plagued Dalton since she assumed office. Despite the town's troubled history under her leadership, Henyard is clearly prepared to fight until the bitter end. The stakes are incredibly high, and her contentious stance has sparked swift reactions from all sides. When pressed by the media, her responses have caused a massive upheaval, creating a shakeup unlike anything previously witnessed in the history of local journalism. Yet, even as the pressure mounts, Henyard remains steadfast and unyielding, showing no signs of retreat in the face of mounting opposition.
Shameful! Y'all are a disgrace!
We're watching a falling.
Elected as mayor in 2021 with a landslide victory, securing over 80% of the vote, Tiffany Henyard's tenure has been anything but smooth. Both local residents and authorities have criticized her leadership, describing her as a desperate leader ruling Dalton with an iron fist. While she has pushed for significant changes during her time in office, her bold approach, particularly her self-proclaimed title of supermayor, has sparked widespread anger. Critics contend that her actions, though within the bounds of her role, reflect a level of audacity that many find deeply troubling, further escalating tensions within the community.
That's what the trustees I talked to are calling this. They say the news took them by surprise, and now they're talking to legal counsel.
Tiffany Henyard has undeniably sparked conflict in Dalton, with the divide between her and both the trustees and residents widening each month. While some view her as a leader unafraid to make difficult decisions, many others accuse her of engaging in power-hungry antics. At a recent board meeting held at the Hard District building, chosen to accommodate the increasing number of concerned Dalton residents, Henyard arrived an hour late. She was immediately met with mockery and boos from the crowd. Despite the hostile reception, Henyard stood her ground, asserting her authority as Dalton's mayor. According to witnesses, the crowd's discontent nearly drowned her out, but Henyard clung to the microphone for a full 7 minutes, determined to make her voice heard.
Is it the reason why you guys are not paying whatever that vendor is?
What was it for?
Henyard didn't leave quietly. Insiders reported that as she exited, she made a final attempt to accuse the Board of Trustees of corruption. This wasn't the first time she had stormed out of a meeting, but each instance seemed to escalate the tension further. Just last week, with only 2 trustees present at a separate board meeting at Village Hall, Henyard was forced to cancel it, citing what she called illegal gatherings orchestrated by her rivals. Undeterred, she attended a Park District meeting later that day, where the atmosphere appeared to take a more positive turn for her.
Thornton Township Supervisor Tiffany Henyard wanted the Board of Trustees to approve some events that she wants the township to pay for, but none of the trustees showed up for this special meeting tonight. That left the meeting canceled.
Jason House, a longtime resident of Dalton and a board member for 8 years, is spearheading a formidable coalition against Mayor Tiffany Henyard. House, along with his supporters, is part of a movement called the Clean House Slate, a group dedicated to opposing Henyard's re-election campaign. He is not alone in his criticism. Several other trustees have joined the growing wave of disapproval directed at Henyard's leadership. While Henyard has vowed to bring order and decency back to Dalton, many in the community feel she has failed to deliver on these promises. One trustee remarked that the town no longer wishes to continue under her leadership, reflecting the significant public backlash she faces. The criticism of Henyard stems from several controversial decisions during her tenure, particularly her fair handling of a police protection detail. This initiative, which removed officers from active street duty at a substantial cost, has been a focal point of discontent. Concerns over financial mismanagement have further fueled the fire, leading to investigations and legal challenges. A watchdog group has raised serious questions about Henyard's use of the police detail and the associated expenses, estimating that it cost taxpayers thousands of dollars. Henyard, however, insists that the backlash is politically motivated, claiming it originates from those who feel threatened by her attempts to bring change to Dalton. She has framed herself as a lone warrior battling against a corrupt system and asserts that she is the only person capable of resolving the town's issues. As Henyard pushes back against her critics, Dalton residents have voiced their dissatisfaction through social media and public gatherings. Some have even compared the situation to a real-life version of the TV show, Parks and Recreation, underscoring the bizarre and dramatic nature of the unfolding events. One of the latest legal developments involves a lawsuit filed by Henyard against several trustees of the Dalton Park District and the village administrator. She alleges that they have been holding unauthorized meetings outside of Village Hall, undermining her authority. While this tactic is not new for Henyard, it has drawn further criticism, with many believing it only adds to the complexity of Dalton's political landscape. Adding to the controversy is the reported involvement of the FBI, which is allegedly investigating various aspects of Henyard's administration, including potential financial mismanagement. Federal agents have reportedly begun questioning witnesses as part of a broader inquiry into Dalton's financial activities, bringing even more attention to Henyard's leadership. A report released by former Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot revealed that Dalton's finances shifted from a surplus of over $5 million to a deficit of $35 million during Henyard's tenure. The report also accused Henyard of using the town's credit card for personal purchases, including significant expenses at Amazon and Target, which collectively amounted to thousands of dollars. Public outrage has intensified, especially following revelations about an extravagant party Henyard allegedly hosted, which cost nearly $85,000 and was paid for with taxpayer money. The event featured a prominent artist and was widely criticized as a wasteful expenditure, particularly given the town's dire financial state. One of the most alarming accusations involves a single-day Amazon purchase exceeding $440,000 in January 2023. These repeated large expenditures have raised serious concerns about Henyard's stewardship of Dalton's finances, leaving residents increasingly worried about the misuse of their tax dollars. Despite the mounting evidence and public outcry, Henyard continues to insist that her actions have been misunderstood. She claims that the allegations against her are politically motivated and part of a larger conspiracy to tarnish her reputation. Her supporters remain fiercely loyal, believing that she is the only person capable of addressing the town's problems. Henyard's legal team, led by her attorney Burt Ringley, maintains that the Board of Trustees is targeting her in an attempt to undermine the will of the people, as she was democratically elected to lead the town. The situation in Dalton remains highly uncertain as the controversies surrounding Henyard's leadership deepen. The community is deeply divided, with her critics calling for her removal from office while her supporters rally to her defense. The ongoing legal and financial investigations have only complicated matters, and the potential for a federal inquiry into Henyard's actions adds another layer of uncertainty. In response to the growing pressure, Henyard has portrayed herself as a fighter who refuses to back down. She remains determined to continue her re-election campaign despite the widespread criticism. However, many residents believe her time in office may soon come to an end as federal investigators scrutinize her financial records and those of her associates, including her boyfriend. The FBI has reportedly issued notices to both the Thornton Township and Dalton governments, requesting Henyard's payment and expense records. These records could play a pivotal role in determining whether charges will be filed. Dalton is at a critical juncture, with its financial health and leadership under intense scrutiny. As the legal challenges and investigations progress, residents are left wondering what the future holds for their town and whether Henyard's leadership will ultimately lead to her downfall or if she will emerge victorious against the mounting opposition. The coming months are likely to reveal the next chapter in this unfolding political drama.
Investigated Henyard's use of a police security detail, taking officers off the street and
A judge recently issued a ruling barring Mayor Tiffany Henyard from making significant appointments without the approval of the Board of Trustees. This decision came after Henyard attempted to unilaterally appoint new officials, including a police chief and village administrator, without consulting the board. Despite the court's clear directive, Henyard has shown no intention of backing down, continuing to push the boundaries of her authority. The judge issued a temporary restraining order to prevent Henyard from making such appointments without board approval, but her defiance has only heightened tensions within the town. Trustees were quick to protest when Henyard attempted to appoint a town attorney and police chief at town hall. One trustee remarked that such actions only further erode trust in the administration. These moves have sparked growing concerns about Henyard's willingness to flout the court's ruling, with some questioning whether she is prepared to risk legal consequences, including potential jail time, to maintain her grip on power. Henyard's persistent disregard for legal boundaries has deepened the already fraught political climate in Dalton. Adding to the turmoil, her personal life appears as tumultuous as her political career, making it increasingly challenging to separate the two. Jason House, one of Henyard's most vocal opponents, has vowed to restore order to Dalton. He is rallying citizens to support his slate of candidates in the upcoming election, framing the scandals surrounding Henyard as a clear indication of the need for change in the town's leadership.